This is the Mounties Gaming Podcast. Please remember that the opinions expressed are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of the community. Alright, welcome to the Mounties Gaming Podcast. I'm here with Inspector Tek from Mounties Gaming, obviously. Inspector Tek, how are you today?
Hello.
How long have you been in Mounties Gaming?
I think 4 years? I think that's about right. 3.5, I'm not too sure.
I think 4.5 is closer, maybe.
Maybe.
And I'll explain why. I know that. How are you enjoying the new position as Inspector?
It's a lot of work, but it's definitely very rewarding. I guess it's kind of like a volunteering sort of job, and it's fun and it definitely has its perks.
So what exactly is your function? What has to happen before someone says, oh my gosh, get Inspector Tek?
Usually what my role entails is very long-term stuff. So I don't necessarily deal with the day-to-day stuff, or obviously I don't manage a specific unit, but I guess I try to guide all of the units in a general direction that's best for the community. So whether that's, increasing recruitment numbers or making sure people are having more fun in patrols, that kind of stuff. I think, maybe 3 or 6 months in advance, that's more closer to the decisions that I make. I guess the closest to day-to-day stuff that I would deal with would be discipline from time to time, if it warrants me.
Very interesting. Okay. And so it's been about 4.5 years, say 5 years roughly, and I know that because we both joined at the same time, in fact, on the same day. Where do you see yourself in 5 more years?
Wow, I have no idea, but maybe I'll still be a part of this community. Who knows? I'm not going to be an inspector forever. I've been here for quite a while. I really don't know. Maybe I'll just be a regular constable or a firefighter. I really have no idea.
Right, and speaking of firefighter and constable, what haven't you done in the community? Is there a role that you haven't done that maybe you'd be interested in taking on?
I think I've done everything. Really,
I think so too.
I have done
Pretty
everything.
close anyway. So the new update, the new scripting and whatnot that's coming out, I have a conversation with Sgt Michael on this podcast, where we talk a little bit about what's coming up. What can you tell us about it?
The dev team's working very hard, and I think that there's going to be a lot of new content in terms of cars, and I think the cars are going to look phenomenal. You guys should see that. If you guys saw Ranger's video, you'll know that we have ELS coming, and that's very, very exciting. So we're going to have a lot more customization and new stuff with what we do. I'm really excited for the new content we have, and we also have scripters who working very hard on that stuff too. I don't know if Michael covered, but you can cuff people in game, for example. We've been working on other stuff like putting your hands up and similar things. So I guess it's really just to increase the realism and improve the immersion, I guess to say. So it's pretty exciting what's coming.
Oh, definitely exciting. That's great. So what motivates you to be here after 4.5 years?
Definitely the people. At first, I joined because, well, I like to RP as a cop, right? I still like to do that, but it's really a team here. I've made lots of friends. There's a lot of people that I have commitments to. Honestly, being inspector is almost like a part-time job. So honestly, I think it's almost like a volunteering thing. And when I see that my actions help people have fun, or I'm contributing to something greater than myself, that's something that gives me almost, a sense of happiness. It gives me a good feeling.
Right on, that's a great answer. So how do you personally reflect HipCar within the community?
How do I personally reflect it?
Yeah, how do you live out HipCar? How do you sort of pay homage to our fancy mnemonic?
Right. Wow. Funny you say that. I used to be a hooligan, and Torque, you know that, but people who listen to this podcast and some of the regular members and some of the newer members, when I first joined the community, I didn't really follow HipCar that much, but got in trouble a lot with my command stuff. But I think I do all right now, given where I am. I guess the biggest thing that I try to do with respect to HipCar is I see a lot of people who were in my position, And I guess I try to mentor them that, uh, these 6 qualities: honesty, integrity, professional, compassion, accountability, and respect. Like, not only is it important in our community, just for common decency, to be kind to your fellow members. I think it goes a long way if you apply this kind of stuff to your personal life as well, right? Um, when it when the community finally drilled it into me, Hipcar, I felt like I kind of became a better person in real life too. So I guess when I see people who do get in trouble with command staff a little more often and do things they shouldn't be, that I kind of try to reach out to them and that kind of stuff and explain to them, like, if you follow this, you'll be a better person, I guess.
Excellent. And so that leads me to my next question. How do you reflect it in your outside life, outside of Mounties Gaming? How does it impact your ability to live your life in a positive way?
I've definitely learned a lot. Even when I wasn't a command staff member, I think I've become a better person. I've learned to communicate better, juggling all these responsibilities at the same time, school and Mounties Gaming and other extracurriculars that I do at school. I think it's taught me a lot in terms of time management, that kind of stuff. I think that, outside of the role play and outside of having fun, I think that this community can teach anybody quite a lot. There's lots of great people here, and you can learn from them.
Excellent. And so what do you like most about being a leader?
Sounds kind of cliche, but honestly, I'm going to say working with people. I talk a lot. I get many people's inputs before I make a decision. I really strive in a teamwork environment, and that's something that I absolutely love. I think the specific part to being a leader is when you are a part of a team, whether you're working with one person or a bunch of people or whole units, that you have the opportunity to push people to be the best that they can be. And that, when the whole team rallies behind a specific cause, that when there's a synergy like that, you can accomplish so much more than what a single person can do or what all of these people can do by themselves. And that's really what the best part about being a leader is, when the sum of parts is greater than the whole, when we all rally behind a single cause and get her done.
Great answer. How many emails do you get a week with Mounties Gaming?
I honestly
just ballpark it.
Dozens.
More than 50? More than 100?
I don't think I go over 100, but I do have to check my phone multiple times a day.
And so how many actual hours of work do you think your position demands in a week?
Well, I'm not on here all the time doing work specifically. Sometimes I'm just having fun with members. In terms of actual work, I really don't know. 20, 30?
Wow, it's quite a commitment.
I probably spend around 3 hours a day here.
That's impressive. How many ways can people get in touch with you and do get in touch with you on a daily basis?
Communicate with my direct reports through BBM. More formal matters are usually through email. Talk to people every day on TeamSpeak, the forums, whether that's posts and messaging. You can knock on my office. There's a couple of guys that I text. So, yeah.
Well, folks, this is Constable Torque with Inspector Tek at the Mounties Gaming Podcast. I hope you've enjoyed our show so far, and we'll be back soon with more.
Thanks, Torque.
The latest update for GTA Online has arrived, called Cunning Stunts. Special Vehicle Circuit. The update adds 20 new stunt races to the game that have been designed to take advantage of the unique qualities of the Rocket Voltic, Ruiner 2000, and Blazer Aqua cars. The races look totally insane. Some courses are set in the skies above Los Santos and involve equipping a parachute to your car. In the Blazer Aqua race, you'll zip through the water on the amphibious vehicle. With the Rocket Voltic, which has a rocket attached to it, you'll speed through a Rainbow Road-looking course. You can try the new races in GTA Online through the Special Vehicle Circuit series icon on the map. All of the races pay out double GTA money and RP through Wednesday, March 22nd. Tuesday's GTA Online update also added the gorgeous-looking Progen GP1, which is available to buy from Legendary Motorsports. Additionally, with this update applied, players can purchase any vehicle that was previously only available after completing a heist. On top of that, the Rhino, Annihilator, Buzzard, and Dubsta 6x6 no longer require you to be a certain rank to buy them. There are new sales in GTA Online as well. March 14th through March 22nd, you can save 25% on the following: Stilled Houses, Penthouse Apartments, Progen T20, engine upgrades, turbo upgrades, exhausts, spoilers, submachine guns, body armor, import-export clothing. In other news, Rockstar announced the launch of a new form of premium races themed around special class vehicles. This begins March 14th with a race called Redneck featuring the Rocket Voltic. As usual, the top 3 finishers get GTA money rewards, while everyone who participates earns triple RP. Finally, Rockstar teased GTA Online's future updates, saying they will add new creator items such as stunt race props and the ability to create a course for the special vehicles. Also, quote, classic GTA cars, including a, quote, particularly morbid muscle car, are headed to the game in the future, while new modes such as top-down and resurrection are also on the way. You're listening to the Mounties Gaming Podcast. Welcome to the Mounties Gaming Podcast. I'm here with Sgt Michael today, and Michael, we're going to be talking about some of the updates coming up in 5 Reborn with our community and some of the things you've been working on. So do you want to give us a quick rundown of what you can tell us, and we'll go from there.
Yep. So the development team has been working very diligently as of late, just working on a wide variety of mods. Some of those are including ELS capability, so we will soon have the capability to be using ELS within 5 Reborn, which will be pretty awesome. And we're also adding some basic scenario scripts. We also have added a loading screen back into the game, so every time you load into the server, there's a nice loading screen with some cool images that says Mounties Gaming on it. And we currently also have in game a couple of cool scripts.
Okay, so ELS stands for what?
Emergency Lighting System.
And so what does that allow the players to do exactly if we can control the ELS?
So essentially, if you guys remember, back in GTA 4, we had the capability to change our lighting patterns, use specific lights on the vehicle, and that's essentially what it allows us to do. It's a GTA 5 version from GTA 4 where we're able to change our lighting patterns. We're able to, there's also some cool things in regards to sirens that would have to be seen yourself in order to understand. But essentially, it's to change your lighting patterns and have specific lights on only, like, for example, hazard lights and stuff like that.
What about signal lights, turn indicators?
Turn indicators is a completely separate script. That's something that's currently also being looked into, so we'll have to see what's going to happen with that.
Excellent. So with this project, what was the most difficult angle so far that you've had to deal with as far as, putting things together and getting scripts edited and whatnot? What's been the most difficult part?
One of the most difficult parts is currently with the ELS is we have to obviously find a whole bunch, essentially a new fleet of vehicles in order to get ELS working. So we have to find vehicles that are compatible with ELS. So we have to move all of our current textures over to some ELS capable vehicles. And I wouldn't say that's essentially a difficult thing, but it's definitely a time consuming part of the project. Script wise is difficult because, if you have one little error in that script, one little thing that's not right, the script won't work. So you always have to go through the script and play with it until you get it right.
It's not like it gives you a syntax error and says error on line 3429, and you can just go back and look. You have to actually go and physically edit each script manually. Is that what I'm guessing?
Yeah, so when you go in game and you type in the command, for example, it's the console for the server doesn't give you any error. It simply pops up as just like a chat log and it says what you typed in, but there's no error that comes afterwards. So you could run it through the program and it won't give you any error whatsoever. And when you put it in game, it still won't work because something's off. So it's just like plug and play.
Sounds complicated.
Yep.
So if there was one thing that you could change about our platform, the way we play the game, what would it be?
Yeah, so in regards to mods and stuff we could add to the server?
That sort of thing, exactly.
Yeah, so, I know that the Fiverr-born 5M developers are working very hard on creating new things for the servers, but I think we're still very limited on what we could have in the server in regards to scripts, and there's still a lot of development being done. So I think we really need to wait a bit more and see what comes out in the near future with the 5M. And as soon as the developers for 5M add a couple of more things from their side, then we would be able to add a couple more things from our side.
Excellent. Later in the podcast, I'm going to talk about GTA 5 and their latest update. Now, I know that in GTA 5, you like to run around in a police uniform. What are you wearing these days?
I'm just kind of dressed there wearing a baggy sweater, baggy pants. It's very depressing what happened.
Well, there's bound to be further changes in the future. But is there anything specifically from GTA 4 that you'd like to see in GTA 5?
Yeah, definitely. I know that within 5M, a lot of people, including us, would love a pullover script. And, with LCPDFR being able to work online in GTA 4, we were able to utilize that function with AI's civilians. So I think that would definitely be cool if someone were able to script that in to the 5M. And I know a lot of people have tried doing it, and no one has successfully done it yet.
Well, there you go. If anyone's listening to this podcast and has any idea on how to do scripting for that sort of thing, well, let's get to work and see what we can come up with. Sgt. Michael, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to interview with me today for the podcast, and we'll be talking to you very soon in the future.
All right, thank you, Constable Torque.